Well, hello everyone, it's me Mary or Hawk and welcome back to another video. This video is all about my witchcraft favorites and spiritual favorites at the moment, and if you're interested in a video like this, I'll be a very rambly video about this. Please keep watching. I do come by that rambly part honestly because I am autistic and ADHD and I often tend to like info dump and go into rabbit trails, so I have a script here to hopefully keep me on track, but like if I don't keep on track, you know why now, and if you see me leaning over, it's to grab something. But I want to talk about my witchy favorites right now with you guys, so if you'll bear with me, I'll get into it in just a moment. So the first thing I've been liking is wearing this key that I dedicated to Hecate, who is a goddess that I have in the past worked with, but I'm now developing a more worshipping and working with relationship now. It's kind of been reinvigorated, that connection with her. It was kind of faded for a while, but now it's been reinvigorated. And you know, this key here, I did dedicate to her a while back, and I had a feeling from her, like a kind of like a message from her to say like, anoint this key with my oil that you have dedicated to me and carry this key around with you. And so I'm like, I'm gonna take that one step a little further and wear it as a necklace. This key is a necklace, so I can keep it on me like she wanted, but not have to worry about pockets or it falling out, because women's clothing doesn't have pockets, so you know, that's just something to keep in mind. So yeah, that's something I've been really enjoying. I feel like she's definitely guiding me to unlocking my fullest potential, and this key helps to symbolize that. And that's something I've been enjoying. Another thing I've been enjoying that's not on the script is pendulum use. You know, I'm trying to trust my intuition more, and see, it's going back and forth like that, front and back, like from me to you, and that means yes, I am actually trying to trust my intuition more. If it would go side to side, it would not, or left to right, it would not be the case, but left to right usually means no, front to forward and back usually means yes. So essentially I've been using my pendulum a lot more to really get in touch with my intuition and to gauge if it was egoic or if it was intuitive, if I was actually hearing the message correctly, or if it was just my mind making something up. That's what I sometimes use the pendulum for, and I like clear quartz especially because it is easily programmable to any desire and it amplifies that intention. So whatever intention you have, whatever entity is trying to come through, their energies are amplified through this pendulum. I feel like copper is also a good one for that, but you know, clear quartz is one of the better types of crystals for a pendulum because it amplifies the energy of whatever is trying to come through. So that's always good to know. You can always get a better feel for who is coming through also because those energies are amplified. So those are the non-scripted parts. So let's get into the scripted parts. I'll hopefully remember to link the channels that I'm about to shout out right now, but I've been enjoying some YouTube channels here on YouTube. So the YouTubers I've been enjoying in no particular order, don't worry, it's not like least favorite to favorite, it's just all ones I've been really enjoying are the Activist Witch, Ivy the Occultist, Jennifer Vatza from Belladonna's Botanicals. I do have a number of Belladonna Botanicals products and I really enjoy them, and so to find out that this person has a YouTube channel that's really informative is something that I really like. Not just about their products, but in general about spiritual things and working with especially the more infernal entities, say the demonic divine, that type of thing. The darker entities, darker deities would work, especially shadow work. Her channel is very useful for all those things. And Cyber Witch, or Orly Stewart, is also a YouTuber I've been enjoying. She is a bit more on the satanic or like satanic path, like Satanism, which nothing wrong with that. It's just another way of practicing. And I find their videos interesting, and while I don't work with the demonic divine currently, I feel like it's interesting to learn about other people's practices and learn other perspectives. As for Ivy the Occultist, I find her works very, or her, I believe their pronouns are she, they, I'm not sure, but their YouTube content is very enjoyable. That's what I was trying to articulate. There's the words. And the Activist Witch is also really great about blending activism and cultural significance with their witchery and talking about that, talking about activism within the witchcraft space and using your magic to do some good in the world and to make a positive difference, to create change, is something I really like the Activist Witch's videos for. And I highly recommend you check out their channels. I'll try to link them. There are other YouTubers I do like too. These are just the ones I've been enjoying the most in this very moment. And now I'm going to move on from channels to some crystals. So what crystals have I been enjoying? So in no particular order, and I will try to find them throughout the little crystals over here. I've got Moldavite, which is a Tektite, but it's very good. Moldavite, which is right here. This is my piece of Moldavite. I don't know if it's showing on camera. I got this in a ring, but it fell out. But it's a very nice piece of Moldavite. Moldavite is good for manifesting, trauma healing, high vibrational, and transformation. It's like a high vibrational transformational Tektite that'll really put you on the path for your best and highest good. And that's where people often find that like crazy stuff happens to them, because it's needing to shift things around to facilitate this transformational period in their life for their best and highest good. So that's what Moldavite is really nice for, and I've been really into transformative crystals lately, so you might notice the theme. The other crystal that I've been really enjoying lately is fluorite. This is fluorite. I've been wearing a lot of fluorite jewelry. I'm not wearing it at the moment, but I have a fluorite choker. And fluorite is good for focus, clarity, divinity, like connecting to divinity, intuition, and protection. It helps to really shield your energies and keep you focused, which as an ADHD person, I need all the focus I can get. I mean, sometimes I do hyperfocus thanks to my autism, but like, I kind of need a lot more focus. I'm sure you're probably noticing me going on to rabbit trails, so, you know, there's a reason for it. The next one goes perfectly with it, and that's Tiger's Eye. This is more of a blue Tiger's Eye. I'm not sure if it's showing on camera. My aunt got me this blue Tiger's Eye, and I also have this yellow Tiger's Eye. Tiger's Eye is good for courage, open-mindedness, strength, good luck, and grounding. And I do need some grounding crystals within my practice. I work with a lot of high vibrational crystals and tektites, so Tiger's Eye really helps to ground me and keep me like strong and in my power, and it's really great for that, and I really like it. It brings good luck. I have these earrings with like these cultured pearls around Tiger's Eye, and I'm not wearing them right now, but those earrings are really great to wear alongside the fluorite choker for when I really need to focus and have good luck in what I'm focusing on. So that's something I really like. Another thing I've been really enjoying is lepidolite. For those who don't know, I do have clinical anxiety, and lepidolite does contain lithium, and lithium is fantastic for balancing the mood. In fact, it's prescribed to people for balancing their mood, and lepidolite is great for peace, balance, harmony, healing, tranquility, and anxiety relief. The next crystal on the list is flower agate, and yes, there's a lot of crystals on this list, so please bear with me. Flower agate looks like this. It has these little plumes on it, and flower agate is fantastic for blossoming to your fullest potential, love, positivity, passion, and joy. And I feel like I need a lot more positivity and joy in my life, and this one really helps me to open up to others alongside the Tiger's Eye. And you know, sometimes, like, especially with my traumatic history, I do have a trauma history, I have PTSD, and sometimes with that I can sometimes try to shield myself and close myself off, but this helps me to stay like positive and open-minded when combined with the Tiger's Eye, and that's something I really appreciate. The next thing I really like is this worry stone made of red jasper. Red jasper can kind of get like a interesting rep. People find it boring or whatever. I know TikTok was, but I like red jasper. Red jasper is great for grounding, strength, energy, fulfillment, and mental stability, which, hey, with my mental illnesses, I need all the stability I can get, and when I'm feeling really anxious or like I need to stim and like I don't want to mask it, I need to stim, but I can't, it's not a necessarily socially appropriate time to be flapping my hands. Like, I want to flap my hands, but I can't. I will be stimming by rubbing on this red jasper, because it really helps me just stay focused, continuing to stim, and just release the energy that I need to release, regulate my body without necessarily drawing negative attention towards me. The next one that I really like, in addition to the red jasper, is golden healer. I've been trying to heal my solar plexus a bit more, and golden healer is great for abundance, confidence, happiness, healing, and empathy, and this really is great for healing your emotional center, and I think your willpower as well, which the solar plexus does deal with willpower and your emotions very heavily, and I find this is very good for that type of thing. The next thing I have on this list is in combination with another crystal that is Libyan desert glass, this tektite. The next crystal that's below it will be next on the list, but The tech type of Libyan desert glass is good for manifesting, confidence, joy, abundance, and high vibrations. Whereas moldavite is good for bringing in transformation. This is really good for manifesting and just manifesting from a place of positivity. That's what Libyan desert glass is really good for, and I've been really drawn to these types of crystals lately. I think I might be going through some sort of spiritual awakening, or I'm on the cusp of having one, like another one. So like this and like these other high vibrational crystals are helping to facilitate that in a little bit more of a gentle way than just thrusting me straight into the spiritual awakening. These help guide me along with their gentle, kind of gentle healing energies. Maybe not the moldavite and Libyan desert glass, but you get the idea. And the next crystal is Larimar. That's the crystal on the bottom of this necklace. Larimar is good for tranquility, communication, soothing, and authenticity, and I often struggle with finding and expressing my true authentic voice because, you know, for a lot of my life I did block my throat chakra, especially as an autistic person, in order to mask, especially when I was in K through 12. I was really badly bullied for just existing as an autistic person, so I wouldn't dare be my true authentic self, except for maybe in senior year after I had a really profound mental breakdown. But like, you know, beyond that, I was often not myself and not there. And I still dissociate from time to time, and Larimar helps me to bring me back from a place of dissociation and soothe me when I'm having some traumatic flashbacks of sorts, and gives me the ability to communicate my truth authentically. And that's something I really appreciate. The next crystal, or again, another tektite, there's 3 tektites on this list, is what I believe to either be bioclite or agnumanitite. Bioclite, or I'm not sure which one it is. I think this is agnumanitite. I could be dead wrong. It looks like agnumanitite. And this is good for raising the vibrations, bringing in new beginnings, harnessing your willpower, passion, motivation, and manifesting. With my low spoons and my executive dysfunction, I need all the motivation I can freaking get, and this crystal helps me with that. But it also like is more grounding than say a moldavite or Libyan desert glass, even though it is highly vibrational, so it helps ground your manifestations into reality, and this is a fantastic tektite for that. So get yourself some agnumanitite if you can. It's among the cheaper tektites. It's less expensive than say Libyan desert glass, and definitely less expensive than moldavite, so get yourself some agnumanitite in your life. And last but certainly not least on the crystal list, and we still have other things to go into on this list, is satin spar selenite. Selenite is good for healing, spiritual guidance, protection, cleansing, harmony, and authenticity. If you've noticed a theme throughout these crystals, yeah, I need a lot of help expressing my true authentic self sometimes, and you know, these crystals have really helped me do that. They've helped facilitate that for me. That's something I'm really happy about. Like, say what you want about crystals. You can say they're just placebo. That's your paradigm, whatever. That's your beliefs, you're welcome to them. But I personally think that it's more than that. But even if it is just a placebo, placebos are still highly effective in their own right. Even if they aren't technically the, say, prescription drug, that doesn't mean they're not effective in their own right. The fact the human brain can see something and go, hey, that thing can help with this, therefore I am going to heal myself in this particular way, even if it's not actually that, is something profound. In fact, it can still facilitate healing through way of a placebo potentially, or non-placebo if you're like me, is something I think is really fantastic and interesting. So that's something to be noted. You know, even if it's just a placebo, placebos are still highly effective in their own right, and the fact the human brain can be that powerful is fantastic. It's really amazing, actually. So next I'm going to get into incense. I have them over here, so I'm gonna have to find them and grab them out. So let me find them here in a moment. These are not particular order ones. I just get incense that I like, so you know, hopefully this is good with you guys. I gotta grab it. I forgot to grab it before the video because, again, I am forgetful. So the smoke shop near me has a fair bit of incense, so I often go there for the incense, regardless of whether or not it's the authentic masala incense. I still like the properties and scent of the incense, so I get it for my intentions. So the ones that I get are this Nandita Original Jasmine. I hope this is showing, but Original Jasmine is a really nice scent. It's really soothing, and it's really high vibrational. I feel like it's a very spiritual scent, especially like if you're drinking green tea. It feels very spiritually inclined, and it's really nice for calling in abundance and feminine, moon magic type power. Tapping into your divine feminine while also tapping into abundance is something this is really good for, and tapping into some spiritual energies. The next incense is this woody amber. This is like an off-brand of Seicha. I know, like, I think this I know the Seicha brand, the Saiba, or I think it's called, it split, and I believe this is the one of the offshoot from the brand that split. I believe that's what this is because it shows the owner here. So woody amber by the offshoot from Seicha that just calls himself Nagchampa. The woody amber smells fantastic, and I absolutely love amber scented incense. I also like spicy patchouli. Can you notice this theme with my incense? It's either floral or it's really like woody and dark, and I love patchouli for calling in abundance, a more earthly and grounded sense, especially a more divine masculine sense, whereas jasmine is good for like tapping into the divine feminine. Patchouli is better for divine masculine, and from my experience, it just feels like a more masculine scent. You often find it in colognes, so I associate it more with divine masculine. Something I frequently use with rituals, this is like wholesale, you can just get this at Walmart, but I also use the Nagchampa brand. I use any brand I can get my hands on because I love me some dragon's blood. Dragon's blood is fantastic for protection during a ritual and enhancing your rituals. So if you need protection and you need to enhance your rituals, get you some dragon's blood. Now, and last, but certainly not least, for the incense front, which I do love me some incense. I have a hoard of it. I hoard incense. Is this frankincense resin. This is great for cleansing my space, giving offerings to deities, because a lot of the Greek pantheon, as well as the Phoenicians and or Canaanite pantheon, does love some frankincense, as well as myrrh, but they really love frankincense. This is a really good incense. In fact, in much of the ancient world, when they were just referring to incense, they were often referring to frankincense, especially in the Mediterranean and Middle East, they were often referring to frankincense. So frankincense is really good for giving offerings and also just cleansing a space, tapping into higher consciousness, soothing anxiety. Also is good for allergens, surprisingly. Like if you have allergens in your space, frankincense is said to help people who have some breathing issues breathe better. So I find this is great if I'm having allergies, which is strange because the smoke often irritates people from incense. But even my dad, who has like allergies to incense smoke, doesn't get bothered by frankincense resin smoke. So burn some of this on a charcoal disc and you will be in good spirits, my friend. You will be in very good spirits. So I highly recommend some frankincense incense. Now, I have some herbs I would like to get into, as well as some fungi. This is the next part of this, and I still have more to go, so I hope you guys are staying comfortable and have a drink or some snacks or something. But now I'm going to get into herbs and fungi. I say fungi because Amanita muscaria mushrooms are like my ally right now. I don't know how to describe it. People often think of this as a deadly poisonous mushroom that'll kill you dead if you just look at it. It's not. It's just not. I microdose this thing and I'm fine. People, especially in Russian-speaking areas, microdose this as too, and they have like creams and ointments of it. There's a long historical usage of this mushroom in Scandinavian, I believe in Germany too, and as well, don't quote me on that part, but I know they have like some like derivative of Amanita muscaria that you can get some pharmacies there, I believe. But you know, you can get this. It's been used in Scandinavian and Russian-speaking areas for a very long time. I know these are extreme examples, berserkers and Siberian shamans, but you don't see a lot of death reports. In fact, the death reports you do see are disingenuous because they found amatoxins in the person's system. This does not contain amatoxins. Rant over, but essentially this is really good for facilitating spiritual change and really helping you journey in a spiritual manner. This is really fantastic if you want to shift your mindsets, if you want to heal yourself, if you want to really do that shadow work. This helps with that, but it helps you from a heart-centered place. It's hard to describe, whereas like other types of mushrooms, if you know what I'm saying, can like really like be third eye and crown. This does do that a little, but like it's more heart-centered than anything, and I think this is a really fantastic mushroom. I recommend watching Amanita Dreamer if you haven't, because she really goes into the usage of this mushroom in a more spiritual manner, and oh, she's onto something. I'll tell you what, this mushroom is a fantastic ally. Amanita muscaria or fly agaric, Love that stuff. I have it in other forms like tinctures, oils, salves. I have it in teas. I have it in all sorts of forms, just the mushroom, as you could see. So I really, really like this mushroom. I have it in smoke blends. Love it for tapping into my more spiritual side. The next thing I really like happens to be rose petals. Rose petals, which I have in this big bag here, just the bag I bought it in, as well as a glass jar. These are really good as a loving, like, magical boost to whatever you're doing. If you want to add an element of love into what you do, add some rose petals. If you want to add an element of protection, perhaps add some rose petals. I think they're good. I mean, rose thorns are more better for protection, but rose in general has those protective yet loving energies, and they can provide a magical boost to most workings. I think rose is fantastic. It's also somewhat of a nervine, so if you deal with anxiety like me, this is a fantastic herb for dealing with that. The next ones I don't have like entire like information on, but like off the top of my head, but the next herbs happen to be these ones. So the next one is stinging nettle. Stinging nettle is great for protective and defensive magic, but also some healing magic. See, stinging nettle is an antihistamine, naturally, when dried or cooked. It's great for allergies. It's also a nervine. It helps you calm down if you have a lot of cortisol in your system, if you have a lot of adrenal fatigue, or in an adrenal crisis. This stuff will help you potentially, unless you have a mint allergy or you're pregnant. But if you don't have a mint allergy and you're not pregnant, stinging nettle is a good friend, and it really helps to calm one down and feel more grounded and protected. And that is something I've been using in conjunction with rose petals. Fantastic for my anxiety. Better than any lavender and chamomile. Doesn't make me feel sleepy, but it makes me feel calmer, and that's what I like. The next herb I have is patchouli. Yes, just like the incense, I have the patchouli leaf. It smells it's like the incense, but better because it's the natural stuff. And this stuff, I swear, is really great for prosperity and abundance in a more grounded, earthly sense. So if you need an herb for that, get you some patchouli. The next herb, and the last herb, hopefully on this list, I'm nearing the end, don't worry, is this Pa de Arco. It's a South American tree bark. My friend turned me on to this. My friend Alexine, if you're watching, hi. You turned me on to Pa de Arco, and I love it not only as a tea, but in my rituals. It's good for prosperity, success, and luck in a metaphysical sense. It's also good for healing and drawing out any, like, toxins. Like, it's often used to draw out, like, endotoxins, I believe, from people's system. Don't quote me, but last I checked, something to that effect. Helps to draw out it helps to detox people, essentially. And so in a metaphysical sense, I see it more like it's very healing and can draw out some of the things that you don't want from yourself. So it's also kind of good in success in terms of, like, drawing out and healing what you don't want anymore. So I often do that, but even when I don't do that, sometimes I just use it to draw in things, because if we can draw out, I feel like it can also draw into a degree, because it's drawing. So I'm gonna draw in prosperity, luck, and success, like the little card on here says. So yeah, that's what I use Pa de Arco for. Very fantastic bark, both medicinally and also metaphysically. Now, I'm going to get into the next thing. This is not the fancy Florida water bottle. You all know this is just a spray bottle I put Florida water into. But this is fantastic for when I feel like I need a little spiritual cleanse, but I don't want to take a bath. Because baths really lower my blood pressure. I think it's lower that it does that. It just makes me feel really low blood pressure and kind of sick. So when I don't feel like taking a bath, but I need a spiritual cleanse, or something needs a spiritual cleanse, like a tool of mine, and it's water safe, I will spray that sucker down with Florida water. Or myself. I can be that sucker, and I'll spray myself down with Florida water, and it's great for cleansing, great for just clearing away the negative and stagnant energies, and it's very scented though, so if you have perfume allergies, I wouldn't recommend it, but if you just want something to cleanse with, Florida water is pretty good. And I like the mechanism with the spray bottle because I feel like I waste less with that than just like accidentally dumping it all everywhere. I would rather use a spray bottle than a just the normal Florida water bottle personally, because I'm a bit clumsy. So there's that. I'm going to go into the oils now. I have them over here. The first one that I have is Van Van. I got this in a metaphysical store. I know this is really great for success and like workings and abundance and prosperity workings, to say the least. There are other things that it's used for. It's typically a thing in hoodoo and voodoo, and I'm not trying to appropriate. This is just something I see, and like also non ADR or ATR practices. So I'm like, I'm gonna give this oil a try. It's found in most metaphysical stores around me, so I'm gonna give it a try. This is really good for success workings and drawing in money and success and prosperity and luck and good fortune and all the good things. Van's really good for increasing and expediting that. So that's what I really like that for. The next one I have is by the Witch's Moon. I have a couple by the Witch's Moon. This is the tarot oil. I really like this for divination. I'm using less of it because I'm running low, and I'm now using my homemade tarot and divination oil, third eye opening, crown opening, throat opening, so I can communicate intuitively. But this is also good for when I want to read tarot for myself or others. I anoint myself with that oil. The next oil is the Enhance oil by the Witch's Moon. This is good for enhancing your rituals and any workings that you're doing, kind of like Van, but this is more all-purpose, I feel like, than Van. Van is also all-purpose in some aspects, but this is even more all-purpose. It's just good, enhances any intention, good, bad, and different. This is what benefic or baneful. It's just good all around, And the next oil I have, which should be no surprise to anyone given something I listed earlier, is this Amanita Muscaria oil by Belladonna's Botanicals. Yes, I mentioned Jennifer Vatza earlier. That's because, hey, two of the products are actually in this list because they are fantastic. This is a discontinued oil. I've since ran out and I'm now using my own homemade Amanita Muscaria oil with the same ingredients, but this oil here is fantastic for really tapping into those higher realms of consciousness and really the spirit flight type things. This is good for that. The next oil I have is the Love, Healing, and Uncrossing oil. This is good as an uncrossing oil, but especially as it deals to shadow work and trauma work and like loving yourself. And like it even says on here that this Love, Healing, and Uncrossing oil can be used to remove crossed conditions and negative energies or influences surrounding relationships in order to heal them. And this is like really good for relationships with the self especially. So this, or if I'm arguing with someone, I will anoint myself with this and try to do the work to process through those emotions and feelings I have towards that person and to try to reconcile the relationship if possible. Like if it's healthy and possible to do that, I will use this oil in those circumstances. And also for myself, because I do deal with a lot of negative self-image issues as a result of having to deal with ableism for many years. So that's it. The next thing I like should be pretty ubiquitous for people who deal with the element of fire. It's either lighter, like a little lighter like this, or if I don't want to use that, I'll use some matches. Either the long type or the short type like that. Matches are good for just having more natural connection to the element of fire, but if you don't want to do that, you can always use a lighter instead, or a long lighter, electric lighter. Whatever gets those candles and incense lit, whatever causes you to be able to burn the charcoal disc. I like the lighter especially for burning charcoal discs, but whatever you can get to light those things, that works. Doesn't have to be matches or a lighter like that. It can be an electric lighter too. Whatever works for you, works for you. That helps me really connect to the element of fire. The next thing I like to use is one of the last things before the books. That is crystal sand. This is just clear quartz ground up into a fine sand. And this is fantastic for when you want to amplify a working or a spell candle or like a spell jar. Any working you want to enhance that you're not consuming, like orally or topically, this is really great for enhancing because quartz is a master amplifier. It's really good at amplification. Anything, like I said earlier with that pendulum, it'll amplify any energies coming through. This will amplify your intentions. This will make things more likely to succeed in the way that you hoped. And that's why I like this little thing. It's my secret weapon. It's quartz sand. Hope to never run out of it or have it be discontinued because, man, I don't want to have to grind that quartz myself. The last and certainly not least, I will share the books that I have been reading. And I will put down my script for that, actually, so I can just get to the books. Just 3 books that I've been enjoying as of late. That is Heal the Witch Wound. This is great for really diving into the witch wound as it affects people throughout this globe, especially with things like the witch trials that didn't just happen in America, happened in Europe, happens in places in Africa, it happens all over the world, really. Not just Africa, it happens still happens today with the Satanic Panic and things like that. So it's not just a like Western or even African or Middle Eastern or Asian or any Pacific Islander or anything like that specific. It happens everywhere, and this is really great for healing that witch wound and reclaiming your power and stepping into it. And this is fantastic for that. Similarly, the book The Priestess Path is really good for really building your inner strength, especially through a magical and pagan lens. And as a pagan, I really like this. I know this is more of a self-help book, but it's also good for really connecting back to the divine and also connecting back to yourself and your own inner power and making yourself of service to not only yourself but the collective. And last but certainly not least is Madame Pomida's Book of Candle Magic. I got this in a Witch's Moon subscription box when I used to get that subscription. I don't anymore because I don't have income right now, so I can't really spend anything. It would be unwise of me to do a subscription box with no income, but this, unless someone wants to sponsor me again to get more Witch's Moon, this book is fantastic. It gives you not only how to do candle magic, it gives you correspondences with like different shapes, different colors, different layouts you can do the candle spells in. It gives you like petition ideas. It gives you ways to carve it and dress the candle. It gives you different herbal correspondences, gives you crystal correspondences, gives you symbol correspondences, shell correspondences. Gives you a whole lot of correspondence. This is more than just a candle book. This is like a good all-encompassing correspondence book in addition. So if you need something, if you need a spell, if you need to know what the day of the week or the color or the candle shape or the herb or the crystal is good for, this book might point you in the right direction. It'll point you in a direction that's good at the very least. It'll help inform you a little more than you were previously. So this book is fantastic for those who want to up their ritual game, and really they don't remember all the correspondences off the top of their head, like me. So I remember some of them, but not all of them. So this book is great for when I need to refresh my memory or I need inspiration for a spell. So that being said, I hope this 32, going on 33, 35-minute video was entertaining for you all. This is Hawk, signing out, stay magical, and thank you for watching this long. If you watched this long, you're a real one. Thank you. This is Hawk, signing out. Thank you for coming along with me on this part of my journey.